Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Alright. Start with this.
And you go deeper into the water, you can feel... Hello everyone. I'd like to talk about this issue of pressure in a fluid. I think we might all be familiar with the case of when you go into a pool or you go into the water and you go deeper into the water, you can feel the pressure building up. And what I'd like to explore is the mathematical description of that pressure. Why does the pressure go higher when you go deeper in a fluid? And the way we're going to think about this is we're going to think about it in terms of the weight of a chunk of water. And that chunk of water is going to be a little cylinder of water, an imaginary cylinder of water that's drawn inside this bigger cylinder. Okay, so we have our cylinder of water, and we're interested in the pressure caused by this cylinder of water, a distance h under the water. I forgot to draw the rest of this. The way we'll think about it is by thinking about the weight of the cylinder on this area A under the water. And it's also the same area that's on the top of this cylinder. And the other thing to think about is the fact that not only is there the weight of the water pushing down on the top of us, but there's the weight due to the atmosphere pressing down on the top of this. Okay, so let's think about this in terms of forces. We know that the force that is on this area at the bottom is equal to the force from the weight of this whole thing plus the force from this atmospheric pressure. So let's write that out. The force at the bottom is equal to the force due to the atmosphere pushing down on the top of that area plus the force due to the weight of the water pushing down on that area, right? All the water above it pushing
What's going
down.
on, man?
We know that force and pressure are related through the equation. Pressure is defined as force divided by area. So I can write this all in terms of pressures. This is equal to the pressure times A. This atmospheric force is equal to atmospheric pressure times the A on the top of that cylinder. And the force of the water is equal to the mass of the water times G.
I'm good. I'm chilling. Just.
I'm going to divide everything by A here.
It's already
Okay,
9
so if I
p.m.
divide everything by A, I get the pressure at the bottom is
today.
equal to atmospheric pressure
Usually
plus
back by like
the
7.
mass of the
When I
water
get on. I don't know.
times G.
I don't know how
divided by
long I'll
A.
be on today. We'll see though.
And we can go just a little further here. We can say that this mass of water, mass of water,
I think the video is just too loud.
actually the density
Maybe I'm not
of water
talking loud enough here.
times the
I can
volume
turn the gain up.
of the water, right? The volume of this cylinder of water.
There you go. I don't want it to be bad. Like,
Well, what is this volume equal to? The volume, actually, the area.
is that a little better? No? Is that too loud now? I feel like that's too loud. Hold on. Yeah. No, man. I got my private, and then I kind of put it on hold, because now I'm going to UTA for aerospace engineering. So it's just on hold. Eventually, we'll circle back to it, though. But yeah, that's kind of what the deal is there. Yeah, Arlington. Yep. I just moved down here like 2 weeks ago, getting ready for August 18th, fall semester. Yeah. Yep. I was going to Sam in Huntsville for computer science, but I wasn't feeling it. Oh yeah? You plan on going to Arlington for computer science? I don't know how good their program is in computer science. I know. Oh, see, like the problem with me was okay. I couldn't. I wanted to do aerospace engineering in like UT Austin or UTA, where the like two schools like in Texas. I figured I'd consider for it, but I mean, I think they were the only ones who offered it down here. Kind of. Well, not the only ones, but like two decent programs around here. And UT Austin is kind of it's like super hard to get into. Super competitive. Yeah. So are you going to Arlington or were you thinking about it? Or did you choose somewhere else? Uh yeah. Okay. I feel like I remember you. Hold on. Did you watch one of my flight videos and then like commented on one of them? And I think you ended up going to America. No, no, I don't think that's you. Cause I remember talking to someone who was going to American Flyers down in I think it was Conroe or was it I don't know one of the flight schools around there. I think at Hooks. No, that's not you. Oh, okay. Yeah. AMP. It's pretty good. I mean, I've heard good things about it, and especially if you like working on planes, can't really go wrong. I guess. I don't know. Kind of trying to get into rocket ships now, man. I'm ridiculous. Yeah, AMP. I've heard for AMP. Yeah. I mean, I think guys at like my flight school, I think the like the director of AMP, I'm not sure. I think he was making at least 100, like at least six figures. Aviation is a good. It's a good. Yeah, anything that flies for me, that's what does it. I don't know what my kind of path is gonna lead to, but I know it's gonna be. It's definitely something to do with flight, regardless. Yeah, definitely. It's one of the better fields out there for sure. I don't know. Nothing else comes close to the feeling. I'd say. Start saving to eventually become a pilot one day. Yeah, that was another thing for me, man. I had saved up I think about 25, $30,000. Yeah, I spent that in 3 months, dude. Like 4 months. Yeah. So I was like, okay, and I got my private, and I was like, okay, let's calm down a little bit. Let's calm down a little bit. It was crazy. 4 months, $30,000. I didn't make $30,000 in 4 months. Did I? No, I didn't. At least that 4 month shit. So yeah, that was insane. Mm-mm. Like, whew, savings all gone. Like, okay, so let's finish college. 100%. Yeah, I'd say it was worth it. I mean, it's kind of what got like what made me even want to change my major from computer science to aerospace engineer. Aviation had a part to play in that. I'd say. 100% worth it. I'd do it all over again. I'm telling you. I'm happy I had videos about it. Like I recorded some videos of it. I just go back and watch them from time to time to reminisce a little. I'm definitely gonna end up getting a plane. Even if I'm not a pilot, I'm gonna buy a plane when I'm a little, you know, in the future. Buy me a plane, my private pilot license, get my instrument rating, just be flying myself, man. It's definitely. I would not. I would do it all over again. 100%. The price is ridiculous. Though. I remember I went for my check ride. Yeah, even not as a career, yeah. I went for my check ride. My check ride was $900 just for the check ride. The flight down there was $900. So that's already $1,800 for one day, right? And then the retest was $400. Yeah. And then we had to stay in a hotel and stuff down because I was in Huntsville, I was in Conroe at the time, and I flew down to Dallas. So for one day, my whole check ride was probably about, I want to say, probably close to $2,000. Yeah, and literally it lasted, I think, 3 hours. That's the oral plus um the flight portion. Total 3 hours. It was cool though. I would definitely do it all over again. That's the crazy part. Yeah.
The force due to the atmosphere pushing down on the top of that area, plus the force due to the weight of the water pushing down on that area, right? All the water above it pushing down. We know that force and pressure are related through the equation. Pressure is defined as force divided by area. So I can write this all in terms of pressures. This is equal to the pressure times A. This atmospheric force is equal to atmospheric pressure times the A on the top of that cylinder. And the force of the water is equal to the mass of the water times G, coefficient of gravity. This is equal to the pressure times A. This atmospheric force is equal to atmospheric pressure times the A pressures. This is defined as...
You planning on taking a discovery flight? Yeah. You said you're in the Dallas area, right? I don't really know any flight schools down here, so I can't even like recommend you or anything. But yeah, no. That's the thing about it. Look, I'm gonna like this is my one advice. If you're not gonna see it all the way through initially, don't even start it. Like if you don't have the money to pay your way all the way through, if you're trying to go to CFI or whatever, your commercial and stop there, I wouldn't even start it. Because you lose all that, like everything you learned, you lose it all like that. Like not lose it all, but like the flying portion of it. Like the memory stuff, obviously if you study a lot, you're still gonna keep it. You're gonna retain most of the stuff you learn. Like I could still probably, yeah, like recite the entire fucking like what's your three things that are required for a thunderstorm to form, stuff like that. Unstable atmosphere, moisture, etc. And updrafts, whatever. Yeah. So if you're gonna the flying portion, because you get rusty real fast. That's my thing. Yeah. If yeah, or like going half on like owning a plane and stuff. That's another way to do it. Yep. I don't know. Just get these. I might spend a little bit just to see how flying is. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if it's for a fun thing, yeah, definitely. Like that's not. There's nothing wrong with It's an expensive hobby. I'll tell you that. It's an expensive hobby. So just for fun, if you want to see what it is, how it is, yeah, you can. Something wrong with going up. Yeah. Also, with an AMP, I can maintenance my own plane. Yeah. Yeah. Save some money. Yeah. Yeah. I heard AMP's a lot more work than being a pilot though, so I hope you're ready for that. Because I've seen some of like, I remember I think it was a video of like the AMP logs, like their books for like I think it was like a 777 or 737, one of the airliners, whatever. the maintenance like books are like yay big. Like they can fill up a room, and the pilot's little like book is like that big, and the maintenance is like huge. So yeah, I heard it's a lot of work. It's a lot more work than being a pilot. That's for sure. I don't know. That's what I heard. I don't really have experience, and so yeah. Hope you're ready to put in the work. Yeah. Hope you are ready to put in the work. To your program? Are you gonna like I forget the names. I think it's like UT Universal Technical Institute or like a one of those like type of programs. Is that what it is? It's like a well, I don't what's the name? Is it a trade school, I guess? With the aviation program? Is that how that works? Yeah. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a little phase after I was done flying. I was like, Dallas College started a program. I had a little phase after I was done flying of like looking up like maintenance stuff because I still wanted to be around planes, but I ultimately decided not to go down that path. Yeah, you'd have to wait for a spot. Dallas College, yeah. Mm-mm. Uh, why not? I honestly I don't even think I can give you a good reason. Like it was a lot of money too. That's the thing about it. Like it was still a lot of money with like not like the thing with aviation is there's not a lot of help programs. Like you can go to college and you get grants, you get a bunch of scholarships. Like I'm probably gonna have to pay per semester. I'm probably looking at I don't know 1,500, sometimes zero. Next semester definitely probably like $0 out of my pocket. I have a math grant, for example, free money, $3,500. They're just giving me to go to school, stuff like that. And I have a transfer scholarship, you know, another $3,000 just giving me to go to school. Finding stuff like that in the aviation scene is not easy. Dallas College program is like 24K, and you can use grants for it. Yeah. Like I said, I didn't really do that much research on it. I kind of just looked at it, thought it was gonna be like a pilot program, and said, "All right, I'm good for now." So yeah, yep. It's 13 months. But then after those 13 months, though, then what do you do? You know, because like this, I mean, I did it first, and so I looked into it. Yeah, because like that was the thing with flying. After you get the CFI, and then you got to start looking for a job, and the field's like super saturated with a bunch of new pilots and new CFIs. You know, I don't know how does that. What's like the what's the how saturated is the A&P field? I guess is there a lot of you know like people looking to be A&P technicians? I guess it's high demand. Yeah, that's the thing. The pilot demand went down like super super down. Like airline pilots were losing their jobs, getting laid off. And I'm not saying I don't like being competitive. I'm just like for the time being, yeah, like people were getting laid off. Spirit was going bankrupt. The news was just not, it wasn't. It's a bunch of new students wanting to be pilots. People in it for the money, stuff like that. Like I'm not, what I'm saying. It was definitely like okay, maybe I need to just take a break. Let me finish college. While I'm still in college, let me finish, and then I can like circle back to it. See if it's something that I really even want. Yeah, that's the thing. Another thing with computer science, I feel like everyone is doing computer science, so like computer engineering, and like they got AI coming around. It's now I can literally open up Chat GPT and be like, make me a website, bro. I know that's not what computer engineers do, but the software engineering part, I'm gonna be like, bro, code me, make me a website with a purple background that has my name on it, whatever. Do you really need a like? Watch this. Make me a website in HTML with a purple background. It gives you the whole entire code. Copy. I can open Visual Studio or not VS Code, paste and run, and I have a website with a purple background. I didn't even read the code, and it's probably gonna work. All right. Just create a random ass file. I don't even remember how to run HTML codes, honestly. I don't have a I don't have a what's it called? A live server. So I can't run it. I have to get live server, I think. Live server. But yeah, stuff like that. Like literally 2 seconds. Demand for all that stuff is gonna go way down like over the next couple of years. That's kind of why. And it's another thing that stirred me away from computer science also. Well, I guess that's with everything though. I don't know. I actually don't even remember how to run HTML code. It's been forever since I used HTML or CSS. But yeah, I was trying to make a point and I failed. You go in, yeah. But yeah, AMP sounds pretty good though. Yeah, I don't hear a lot of people wanting to be AMPs, so that's a good sign. I don't hear a lot of people wanting to be plumbers or electricians and stuff like that. So that means your demand's gonna go up. And I haven't, at least they haven't created a robot yet that can fix planes or perform maintenance on planes. So that's good. Works for Boeing. It says there's a lot of growth. Yeah. I worked in the airport, Bush, for a little bit, for well, like 2 months, a month and a half. Yeah. Yeah. 13 months. It's gonna go by fast. Yep, for sure. Um, I think in total it took me. I started my flight training in June 2024. I finished December 18, 2024. August, September, October, November. So it took me 5 months to get my private. It was a lot of studying. Yeah, said the contracting work pays crazy. Yeah, contracting. What do you mean contracting for like? I didn't know A&Ps even do contracting. Is that like? Do you mean like when people bring you their planes to like service? Like you're servicing, like let's say a company runs a fleet of like I don't know, 10 Gulfstreams. You're gonna service their or like work on their Gulfstreams for them. Is that what you mean by contracting? Like you don't actually work for. I guess that's what contracting means everywhere. But yeah, okay. I didn't know that. I did not know that. Overseas and stuff. Oh, okay. Okay. Overseas. I'm curious how that work. So you'd go overseas to work on planes. Why wouldn't they just get? I'm sure they have AMPs down in wherever you're going, no? Or I guess they're no good, maybe? No? Oh, okay. That's what you, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. You mean for like the military? Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, another thing. I looked. I was, yeah, people certified in America. Yeah, I kind of figured. Yeah, yeah. After I was done flying, I even looked into like flying helicopters for the army, man. That's how addicted I was for like a good 3 months. I was just looking for alternatives because our regulations are more strict. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I was looking into flying helicopters. I almost joined the army, man. I almost joined the army because I wanted to fly helicopters. I wanted to fly something. They put me on the back of a freaking drone. I would have hung on to like 30,000 feet, man. Yeah, helicopters are sketchy. From what I've heard. Yeah. I mean, I could have sworn like they don't just go straight down. Like not from what I've seen. I've seen videos of people like, if the engine were to go out, it's gonna come down, but you have so much more like you can comfortably land a helicopter on a regular street. Meanwhile, a plane, you're gonna have to bleed off a lot of that energy while you're, and you're landing when you're flaring and stuff. So you're gonna go a lot further. But a helicopter's gonna go straight down. Now, if you can, I don't know if you can control your rate of descent while you're, yeah, yeah. Like I don't know. I feel like a helicopter would be more safer if you were to have an engine out issue in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, there's a lot more than just joining the Air Force to fly anything, though. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't know that because every branch had their own like the Marines. I think was it the Marines? The Marines have like pilots. I think. I know the Army for sure have pilots. The Air Force, obviously, the Navy, um, Coast Guard. Everyone has. They hire at least pilots or like people to fly their own. You know, I didn't know that. I thought it was just Air Force done. That's why it's called the Air Force. Yeah.
Force divided by area. So I can write this all in terms of pressures. This is equal to the pressure times A. This atmospheric force is equal to atmospheric pressure times the A on the top of that cylinder. And the force of the water is equal to the mass of the water times G, coefficient of gravity. I'm going to divide everything by A here. Okay, so if I divide everything by A, I get the pressure at the bottom is equal to atmospheric pressure plus the mass of the water times G divided by A. And we can go just a little further here.
As a hobby, no. I wanted to make it a career, for sure. I still do. Probably after I'm done in about 2 years. Um, with my degree here. Still do for sure. Still look into it. But no, I wanted to make a career. Like the path was so yeah, the path was also so generic. Like I don't know. And I'm not trying to like throw shade at my, but I feel like the value for what I was getting wasn't like just $25,000 in 3 months is not like that's two college semesters right there, bro. You know? And I felt like I was just like the value for what I was like learning, I guess, wasn't really, it didn't really match, if that makes sense. Like, obviously, I needed somebody in there with me, while I was flying, because I didn't know what I was doing. I'd probably have killed myself if I'd went in there alone, right? But outside of the airplane, I don't know, the value didn't really feel. It was, I mean, honestly, anyone can fly. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, you have to be smart, you have to be, like, as long as you're willing to put in the work, it's fairly easy. It's nothing crazy. Like, it's not like rocket science. Anyone can. I've seen there's a video of a guy on YouTube. I think he's like a plumber on the side, and he has he owns a twin engine. I forget what kind of plane. I think it's a King Air. He owns a King Air. He just flies it around. He's a plumber. On his day job is being a plumber. So like, it's not hard. Uh, what do you mean a program? I was just like, I used to just go till I built up enough hours, and then um took my check ride. If that's what you mean. Like the program, it wasn't really a program. A lot of studying I did outside of, because I don't mind studying. Like I like studying, so I did a lot of studying outside of like the school, I guess. And then I just essentially most of my flights were just with my instructor flying. Yeah, there's programs. I mean, that they have you go to class and stuff like that. I don't really like that. I think most of the real work happens outside of class, even in like college and stuff. Yeah. Oh, you mean like a ATP program? Yeah. Or you mean like I've seen ATP stuff like that. I mean those prices are ridiculous. Like 100 and I think it's like $113,000 at ATP or something like that. That's crazy. I would never. But no, I didn't really do a program like that. No. It was kind of just okay. You give your CFR your schedule a week in advance. You show up to your lessons whenever he feels like you're ready, and you can fly the plane alone. He sends you off the check ride, essentially. And there's like a list of like airman standards, like you gotta hit and stuff like that. Yeah, like I've heard of a lot of people like they think they're gonna after they finish those programs, like it doesn't, I guess it kind of promises, but it doesn't super like directly promise or whatever. It promises them like airline jobs. And I'm like, bro, there's a long line in front of you if you think you're gonna just come out of your ATP program and just become an airline pilot. Like, no. There's a long line of people in oversaturated field who are in front of you, working harder than you, stuff like that. So yeah, if you know someone, it goes faster. Though I will tell you that. If you know someone who owns a plane or who's willing to let you fly, if you have a rich uncle, stuff like that, makes your life a lot easier. I sadly don't. I sadly don't. I mean, it's not a bad hobby. I wouldn't recommend doing it every, maybe once a week. Yeah, once a week is still a lot. 'Cause that once a week flight, I think one flight day of like a block of like 2 hours for me was probably about I want to say 300-400 bucks, maybe. Yeah, yeah. Those commercial jets are, yeah. That was a still a dream, I guess. You don't have to be a airline pilot to fly one, you know. Actually, you do, but I don't know anyone else who has a 777 or a 737 just sitting around. But yeah, but for the little King Airs, Cessna Caravans, the Kodiaks, those are pretty decent planes. turbine powered, whatever, you know. You can feel like you're in a, not really, not at all, no. I was gonna say it's gonna feel like you were in a I mean, they're not. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like compared to a 737, a Cessna Caravan is decent. Or compared to a 787, you know, it's decent. It's nothing crazy. It's an all right plane. There's nothing crazy going on there. Yep, something light. It's nothing crazy at all. Nothing crazy. I used to watch this guy all the time. I think he flies the um this guy, missionary bush pilot. He flies the Kodiak, I think. And this is like this is another thing that's like super cool. Like he's flying out of like remote places in Papua New Guinea. I don't know if you've seen him. It's pretty cool. And like they don't have any of the stuff we take for granted. Like, you know, there's an ATC there, but it's not really ATC, I guess. I don't know what their like airspace looks like. And like this guy's just flying over like trees and stuff. Like coming in the land, look how scary that is coming in the land. Look at that. He starts flying right over the mountains. No problem. Yeah. That's insane. Like that right there is crazy.
As we fly by with my 360 camera. Okay, runway looks good. It looks like kind of approaching our 73.
Yeah. Just watching people fly. I mean, I was subscribed to all of them. I just used to, on my free time, I just sit here and just watch people fly as well. But the thing in Texas, we don't have the views. We get no views, man. Like, where in Texas are you gonna find a mountain like this? You know, flying right over it. Like, it's not possible. It's all flat. Remember, I flew from Conroe, which is like next to Houston, all the way down to Dallas, and it was just highway. Literally, it's just following. I think it was it 45? Yeah, just following straight highway. What do you mean? When am I gonna do cross country? I mean, when I did my cross country. I haven't been in a plane in almost 3 months. I don't think we'd make it back, bro. If you let me fly you and you don't know how to fly, I don't think we're making it back. I'm gonna be honest with you. I do not think we will make it back alive. Actually, honestly, I'm probably still fairly like, you know, I can probably still take off and land. Like I can, yeah. I probably still remember how to start up an engine. Yeah, mixture full rich, fuel pump on. Um, put your mags on both. Uh, what else? That's pretty much it. And after you start, you know, you turn your alternator on. Or yeah, don't forget your battery master before you start. Um, and you get to your run it up to what 1,000 RPMs. Do your mag test. Ready to take off right there. There you go. Full power. You know, we take off out of Chanel. We took off with what 25 degrees of flaps. Speed on the brakes, full power. Once you get your 2,400 RPMs, foot off the brakes, let it roll. Keep center line. At 60, you rotate. Just YouTube the flight. Yeah. YouTube mid-flight. If I ever do go to, like, when I do go on a plane again, not if I ever, when I do, I will definitely have my GoPro so I can. Yep. College Station was beautiful though. Right? Which one was it? This one. The first time I actually came to College Station, I messed up my landing. Well, I didn't mess up my landing. I messed up my rollout. But this was a decent landing. I was just super, 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 super left of center line. And it was super windy on this day too, if I remember. I can't tell you how UTA is. I'm going in August. I just transferred down from Sam Houston, Huntsville, Texas area. So I don't know yet. But I am in Dallas right now. So I will let you know August 18th how UTA is. UTA. It's a big school though. I mean, people complain about body odor at UTA? Huh. Like the students' body odor? That's crazy. I mean, that might just be the computer engineering department and the computer science department, man. You know, that's just that department. Not to say I'm not, you know, mm, like every student has. No, I don't believe that. Hey, I mean, body odor means, there's actual work being done there, Like the students are so focused, they don't have time to shower. I guess. I don't know. They're studying pretty hard. Couldn't be me though. I always find time to shower. Check, the body odor is pretty bad at UTA. That's the first I've heard of that. Where are you seeing these posts? I got my speed. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty butter. Yeah, on Reddit, I figured. Yeah, that's wild. I've never heard of that. That's the first I've heard of it. Like I heard a good amount of that. Yeah, I'm not even gonna say that. Probably shouldn't. That's the first I've heard of that. Body odor UTA. I would definitely be on the lookout, I guess. No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm live streaming, even though there's no one in here watching. I got one viewer, but I'm still live streaming. This video is gonna be saved on my channel somewhere in the live section. So I'm gonna keep my keep my no, I didn't nope. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Just, spewing words. It's gonna come back to bite me in the ass when I'm an airline pilot. Oh look, back in 20 years ago, he said this. Done, fired. Goodbye. Mm-mm. All right. I did this yesterday. Imagine, yeah. It's done. Finally made it, and now we're done. Now we're fired. It's ridiculous. We've seen it happen to too many people for real. Honestly, like I just need to go make a tweet right now. Like anything I did before, it's gonna be you. No, like I'm gonna 5 years before I actually get to where I want to be. Anything I did before 2026 was not me. I'm a different person. I'm changed. I need to go post that on my Twitter in the year 2026. I've matured. You know, anything I said, did, I'm a new person. That doesn't count. Mm-mm. Doesn't count. I remember those tweets from Offset. He got hacked, supposedly. Did he say he got hacked? How did he justify that? I don't remember. I think he said he got hacked, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sure, buddy. I mean, hey, bro did not get hacked. I mean, he turned out, he was fine. I mean, everything turned out okay for him, I guess. You know, regardless of his past tweets. Some people aren't so lucky. Probably not. Mm-mm. Did he ever delete him? He must have deleted him, right? I'm nosy, bro. Hold on. There's no way he left him up. I mean, obviously people got screenshots of it. Mm. I'm trying to study. I haven't done anything. Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. I can't. I don't know if I can open my search history on here. Let me mute my screen real quick before I open the search bar. Timeout. You can't see, can you? All right. I don't know what I'd be looking up. Oh, it's empty. What the heck? I guess the phone search doesn't transfer over to the desktop. Yeah, no, I just study in my free time. Kinda, sorta. Does he have a Twitter? Bro, some shit pops up on here. Hold on, I should not be opening Twitter on stream, bro. I just forgot. No, if some like Twitter is the one social media you probably shouldn't open on stream, especially because I'm live on Twitch also, and my account will be gone in 5 minutes. It's probably the one social media you should not open on anything. Yeah, that was a bad idea. I've been trying to understand this paragraph right here, this right here, for like 3 days now, and I still don't get it. For 3 streams in a row. Yeah. Well, now we get a piece of let's calculate. No, I just study to trying to get ahead of next semester, I guess. Yeah, I have nothing else to do. I don't really go anywhere, honestly. So instead of just sitting at home, just laying on my bed scrolling on Twitter or whatever. Because after I work, I just come back home. I'll be tired. So I just, all right, let me sit on here and study. And the stream was just, I don't know, kind of keeps me, I guess, in check. Keeps me, like, makes me actually want to show up. Even though there's no one in, like, even though it's just you in here, it's weird. It's gonna actually keep me coming back and, like, actually studying. Keeps me consistent. That's what this is. That's why I stream it. If that makes sense. Nah. I can mute my mic, watch this, and say all the cancelable stuff. I just said like 5 cancelable stuffs. You didn't hear any of them. Bro was definitely muted. You're not gonna play me because I got the soundbar right there. Oh, bro was definitely muted. you know, most definitely muted. I don't think they've created one that can do that yet, bro. But it's probably not far, honestly. Actually, yeah, no. They can create. You know what? It's not even safe anymore in 2025, bro. It's not because You can literally take that video and like make it say whatever you want me to say with AI. So it's not even safe. Like it's got to be terrible being famous, bro. Because you can take a famous person like a video of them saying something completely different and just like make them say what you want to say, and everybody's gonna think it's real. So what's the point, honestly? Like if I say some cancelable stuff right now, you know what I'm saying? No one's gonna know I said it because I can just be like, "Oh, that's AI." Yeah, that's what I just said. Anything real is AI. Done. There you go. So if you do something messed up, just be like, "Oh, it's AI. It's not me." It's AI. Yeah. You might get 500K. What you mean? What do you mean you get 500K saying crazy stuff? I'm good. Hey, if it don't work out, this right here doesn't work out, you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and just put it all on the line, man. What do you might get 500K saying crazy stuff? No. Oh yeah, I remember that. Hey, no, that was crazy. Yes, the what's her name again? The white girl, the white woman rather, who was carrying her baby with the tattoo on her arm. I forgot her name. Um, in the park or whatever. Dang, I forgot her name. And they were comparing her to that Austin Metcalf dude. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot her name. That was wild, bro. Like that was crazy. That was actually crazy. I remember I tweeted something about it. It was like, okay, because somebody was just saying, somebody, so I guess they were trying to play sides, like white people versus black people, essentially, was what they were trying to do. And people were like, oh, we won. Because I guess she raised more money than the dude who stabbed the kid. The kid who stabbed the kid on the there. So they were like, oh, we won because we got more money. I'm like, bro, the only people who won here are literally the woman who got the 500K or the half a million or the million, however much she got, and the other dude who got the $800,000. Like, we ain't win nothing, bro. What do you mean we? What do you mean we won? Somebody says that calls a kid the N word and you just giving her $500,000. That's wild. If that's all it took, you should have let me know, man. If that's all it took, you should have let me know. Go ahead and pay for my flight training real quick. Go ahead and pay for my flight training real quick. All for one thing. Oh yeah, he was up. Yeah, down. Yeah. Oh shit. Nah, that's crazy world we live in. These people in the pool are so loud, bro. It's 10:48 on Saturday. Should be going to church tomorrow. Go to sleep. Dude, what the hell are you studying? What's up? Looks like molecular physics. Nah. It's actually just it's Introduction to Flight by John Anderson. This is just a hydrostatic equation. That's all it is. I've been trying to get it for 3 days. I get the equation. I'm just trying to understand like the where every single part of the equation comes from. The derivation, essentially. Nah, I'm not that advanced yet, bro. Thermodynamics, no. I'm going into I guess a sophomore semester at UTA for aerospace engineer. So just getting there, trying to get ahead. Welcome to chat though, Bena Seraph. Maybe I should put the chat on the screen. Cause like I'm talking to someone on Twitch where you can't see me on YouTube. But you can't, so you're like, who am I talking to? You know, the little chat overlay right there. I'll do it later. That's good. I suck in my Russian university. Oh yeah, you study astronomy? That's what's up, man. In Russia? Nah, hold on. Let me see if I can put it on there. Astronomy in Russia. Yeah. Isn't that like the, how do I not know what astronomy is? That's like the stars and shit, no? It is, right? I'm not, astrology is different from, it's like the galaxy, right? The study of the celestial objects, okay. In the cosmos. I mean, it's kind of tied in, I guess. Yeah. That's too much crazy for me, man. Yeah. That's too much. I don't know. It's too much crazy for me. Astrology is the fake version of astronomy. Yeah. Okay. Mm. I'm more interested in launching, you know. Astronomy is study of the universe. Yeah. I figured. You think there's stuff outside there? You think there's other people on other planets? Well, not other planets, I guess. Not in our solar system. Well, I read quantum mechanics books. They're much more crazy than one semester astronomy. Man, what? I remember I tried to I watched one YouTube video on quantum computing. That's the only quantum I got in me, man. It was I had no idea what they were talking about. You know what's quantum mechanics about? What is that like? The study of universe. Yeah, no, yeah, that is ridiculous. Over the volume of fluid is 1 because rho's mass per unit volume is simply exertion of gravity is g, then the weight of the fluid is g. There's a small change in geometric altitude. Trying to figure 3.3 atomic and the weight must balance because the fluid is not moving. Okay. Any fluid of density on an ocean as well as area in the atmosphere. Yeah, I use it a lot, a good amount for Chat GPT. Like, but the thing is, like, I don't know, most of the explanations it gives me, it's good, like, for understanding it, but I feel like my understanding, because, like, I see the equation, I know what the equation is, but I'm trying to understand, like, why, like, how every single part of the equation comes about, essentially. So that way, I can, when I think of, okay, well, so I could tell you what parts, what the parts of the equation are, right? Like they're saying essentially this equation is the pressure plus the small change in pressure plus the density times acceleration of gravity and hg, that's a small change in geometric altitude. So this is basically saying that this one molecule of water, or like if you, so it's pretty much when you put, what do you mean what part in the derivation? I'm trying to like just to get it to make sense. That way I don't have to think of it like if someone asks you what's the, a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, well, you can just give them the equation, but you don't really know, like, you can explain how it actually like came about. Like, does that make sense? I'm not making sense. I don't know. No, I know where ro. I know where What do you mean rho? I know where rho. I know where g came from. That's g is just big G times m1 over r squared, and that's up here, right? That's G. I'm trying to tie it all together is the word I'm looking for. Like right here. To be made useful should be integrated to give what we want. The variation of pressures with altitude P is equal to. To simplify the integration, we make the assumption that G is constant throughout the atmosphere, equal to its value at sea level. And I already tried Chat GPT like 10 times, man. I promise you. Literally, yesterday. I think it was right here. Yeah. It did a pretty good job. Yeah. Integration of DPs. Man. Dakota. So if we integrate DPs equal to GDH, we get P, and P is equal to FH because G is constant. Integration of DPs P, so if we integrate BP is equal to GDH. Okay, yeah. G is constant. And PF is equal to GH. Pressure is only a function of H. Okay. Yeah. I guess maybe I should just wait till I actually get to the exercises for this chapter, or like the use cases essentially. That would actually probably help, like understanding. If I can see it actually being used, essentially. Like reading the same thing over and over is not gonna help me. There's not an increase for a small amount of DHT such that and the pressure P plus DP, where value of DP is given acres 3 by 10 does not put the same value of DP in 3 by 3 divided acres 3. We have yeah, I took calculus all the way to 2. I've done differential calculus and integral calculus, but I still have to take multivariable calculus probably in 2 semesters. We call it math analysis in Russia. Yeah. Your English is very good for someone from Russia, man. I'll tell you that. I know like a lot of people in, I guess, Europe speak good English as well as their native language, but I can completely understand you, which is crazy. So yeah. Are you watching from Russia right now? That's what's up. You playing too much Minecraft, yeah. No. Yeah, no, I took calculus 1 and calculus 2. So, and I bought this little book as well over there. That's kind of been just calculus practice problems, and I kind of just do them. Right, because all right, whatever. We're done with that. As a consequence, the number of values that correspond to the same matrices are different values. For the practical mind, geopotential altitude is a fictitious altitude defined by equation 3.3. For ease of future calculations, however, many standard atmospheres the code results are potential altitude and care must be taken to make the distinction. Again, geopotential can be thought of as the fictitious altitude that is physically compatible with the assumption of. Okay. So we did all that just to say. Okay. Since declaration of P where geometric altitude P is good PhG. However, calculations using given instead P is equal to pH. Therefore, we need to relate H to Hg as follows. We obtain dividing equation 3.3 by 3.2. PG, P will cancel out. We get G. G0 DH over GDH, right? Yeah. Or DH is equal to well, HG, I know. HG is our geometric altitude. And I'm pretty sure H is our geopotential altitude. Because in equation 3 point, where's our equation for geopotential altitude? This is our equation for geopotential altitude, essentially, right? That's what he said? Yeah. Hold on. To come say for fine. Yeah, H is our geopotential altitude, which is defined by this. That's what I'm having a hard time understanding. Our geometric altitude is just the altitude from wherever we are to the surface of the Earth, if that makes sense. And the definitions are right back up here. So Hg is from wherever we are to the surface of the Earth. Ha, which is our absolute altitude, is our geopotential altitude plus the radius of the Earth, if that makes sense. And then H is our geopotential altitude. But I'm still trying to figure out what that means. Because he essentially wrote all this just to define geopotential altitude, and it makes no sense. I guess we can just come in here and be like, do I ever use AI to help me study? All the time, man. Look at these tabs. Like literally every time. Quite literally. Every single time I'm studying, I open Chat GPT, regardless of what I'm doing. So yeah. Where am I? Alright. I was gonna ask what is geopotential altitude? Can you show 3.2 and 3.3? Yeah. There you go. The equations? You mean these? This guy and this guy? Yeah. Over these the radius of the moon. No, we're talking about the Earth, buddy. What is geopotential? Geometric altitude. See, ChatGPT even knows what book I'm reading. That's crazy. Okay. That's wild. It just saves my data, I guess. It remembers. Never mind. All right, geometric altitude. It's the actual vertical distance above sea level. Okay. It's a purely physical height. Has a geometric altitude of 10 kilometers. Okay. Geopotential altitude. This is a corrected altitude that accounts for how gravity decreases slightly with altitude. So it flattens out the Earth's gravity to make calculations easier. What? This is a corrected altitude that accounts for how gravity decreases slightly with altitude. The rate. Are you being sarcastic, Ovidi? The radius of the moon. That's funny. All right. That accounts for how gravity decreases slightly with altitude. Okay. So that's it? Oh yeah, G is different. Your acceleration due to gravity and your local acceleration due to gravity are two different things. I get that. The Earth is flat. Okay. Honestly, I've never been to space, so I can't speak on the roundness of the Earth. uh, yeah. G isn't constant, decreases as you go higher. But that's messy in equations like dp is equal to, because now G changes with H. Okay. Hg, so we can assume constant gravity. The gravity at sea level. Hg is equal to RE times H. Geopotential altitude, geometric altitude. So geopotential altitude is just geometric altitude times the radius of the Earth divided by the radius of the Earth plus geometric altitude. The Earth is not flat. You are. I don't think you believe that. You want to fly planes and you mean to tell me the Earth is flat? As someone who's been in the sky before, I don't think the Earth is flat. And I've not been that high up, but I've been on commercial planes. And you still can't see the curvature. I guess you can't really see the curvature from 35,000 feet. But aliens are real, but you think the Earth is flat? You've never seen an alien, though. But you have seen, a SpaceX launch or a NASA launch. They have cameras literally going from the ground all the way to orbit. Aliens? I mean, I've never seen one. I don't know. I have trouble believing what I haven't seen. You know? I don't know. They're probably out there somewhere. Not in our solar system. Not the stereotypical stuff, though. So you just think they're like other humans in other galaxies, or you think they're like green with like long ears and long noses? I say 550 kilometers. Okay. I thought you were dead ass. I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were 100% serious. Yeah. I thought you were 100% serious. All right. Can you ask ChatGPT again how G depends on gravity potential H? Geopotential gravity H. Okay. All right. Geopotential altitude, rather, not gravity. Yeah, HGs are geopotential altitude, right? According to ChatGPT, yeah. How does so you want to ask how does acceleration due to gravity depend on geopotential altitude? Is that what you mean, Benisarov? The universe is crazy. It's definitely wild what's out there, man. I don't know. I kind of want to go to space. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Yes, my formula is correct on the traders. Yeah. Scroll down. New stuff can be explained, but it's hard to fathom that some stuff just can't be. Rather, this, we just haven't figured out how to explain it yet. You know, if that makes sense. Already. Eventually, in 10,000 years or 5,000 years or 1,000 years, someone's gonna figure out how to explain. You know, to see the derivation, right? To geopotential altitude, then that's not some others in accuracy. I understand the concept between potential and geometric altitude. And I think that was the whole point of like the not the point of the point of the not the point of the hydrostatic equation. That's a whole different thing. But understanding the difference, I think I get it. Like essentially, our geometric altitude is again that height just above sea level. If we use the regular 9.8, meters per second square acceleration due to gravity, whereby our geopotential altitude is okay. As you go higher, well, gravity gets weaker. So that's just taking in geopotential altitude formula is just taking into account, you know, how gravity gets weaker as you go higher. What book I'm reading? Introduction to Flight by John Anderson. This guy. This is what I'm reading. I don't think it could ever be explained because you get to a point where to try to explain everything and you can't. Yeah, you're never gonna be able to explain everything. I mean, but slowly and surely. Like, what do you think the people? I bet like the people thought it was crazy who came before like Isaac Newton, right? When they were dealing with gravity and they had no way to explain gravity. What page am I on? I'm on page 116. It starts at 113. The whole chapter, rather. So that starts at chapter 3, which is 110. Yeah. Okay, I got that. Equal to 0 at sea level. Now consider a given point in the atmosphere. This point says certain geometric altitude, and associated with it is a certain value of h, different from hg. Integrating equation 3.5 between sea level and a given point, we have gh. Kind of scary and cool at the same time, yeah. Definitely not in our lifetime. We won't be able to explain all this. But, you know, AI is here now. You give AI eyes with computer vision, and AI can see just like humans can and like process stuff. Yeah, it's going. It's going to explain some shit. I'll tell you that. Like humans will always be the smartest, you know, species no matter what. But because the brain is just simply irreplaceable. It just doesn't work as fast as a computer. Yeah. Crazy, the universe is just expanding as we speak. Between sea level and a given point, 0 to hg, r squared. And pull out the r squared as a constant. dhg over r squared. If we integrate that, h is equal to r squared. dhg is negative 1 dhg rather. R plus hg, so hg 0. Alright. R squared is equal to 1 Thus h is equal to just geopotential altitude. And hg is geometric altitude. This is our relation between the two altitudes. When we obtain relations such as p is equal to ph, we can use equation 3.6 to subsequently relate p and p to hg. Also crazy, the universe is just expanding as we speak. Yeah. Do you study I guess astronomy? Is that what it's called? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how the universe works. What do you mean it's expanding as we speak? Like just new what's it called? New timelines being created. New timelines of our lives. We're in a simulation, man. Yeah. I went into a rabbit hole of trying to find how life came to be. Did your rabbit hole sort of like lead to an outcome? What did you find out? Because I'm curious. Everyone says, you know, Big Bang. If you're if you're if you believe in science, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Expanding in the sense that distance between 2 points became much more broader with time. Like there, like the factor AT. And if we multiply on some distance between some objects, it became larger. Okay. Yeah, so over to you, you're asking like what was before the Big Bang, essentially. Yeah. Like what created the Big Bang? Because I could have sworn something always like what's the what principle of physics is that? I swear there's one. It says energy cannot be created or destroyed. Something like that, no? So so where did the first energy come from? That makes no sense, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like what caused the Big Bang? What? Never mind. Never mind. Life is unexplainable, man. Let's question the string theorists. What's string theory? I have no idea what that is. Here we go. We're going down there rabbit hole. String theory. Yeah. Quantum gravity. Okay. I see what you're saying, Benna, Saraf. I need. Right. We're not in a position to obtain pressure, temperature, and density as functions of geometric altitude, or altitude rather. For the standard atmosphere, the keystone of the standard atmosphere is a defined variation of temperature with altitude based on experimental evidence. This variation is shown in Figure 3.4. Note that it consists of a series of straight lines, some vertical called the constant temperature rise of thermal regions. and others inclined, called the gradient region. So given t is equal to t h, as defined by figure 3.4. The rabbit hole makes you understand religion. I don't know, man. It confuses me even more if you think about it in terms of religion. Like, if that makes sense. God, created everything. Never mind. Never mind. We're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it tonight. Nope. I do believe there is God, but and it would make sense that there is some like supreme being, because I mean humans are like the human body, the human, you know, super complex. What do you have, Benisarov? It's like I don't know, an okay. That's the exact same thing I'm saying. Like there is a supreme being, you know, and it would make sense, but density is equal to density h. Follow the laws of physics as shown in the following. First, consider equation 3.3. Change of pressure is equal to negative density 9.8 times change in altitude. Divide by the equation of state, which is density, specific gas constant, and temperature. We get that. Oh my god, bro. Dude, my brain is fried, bro. Like, consider first the isothermal constant temperatures, layers of the standard atmosphere as given by vertical lines in figure 3.4. Figure 3.4. That's this guy. In sketch in figure 3.5, the temperature, pressure, and density at the base of the isothermal layer. Temperature, pressure, and density at the base of the isothermal layer. In 3.5, temperature, pressure, and density in 3.5. I try to think of stuff more logically, and the fact that we can't explain everything about how life came to be makes me believe in God. I think we think too little of what it is or what could be, though. Yeah. Um, I think, I mean, eventually, I feel like humans or, AI coming out, we're gonna understand how the world works a lot more. Maybe not in our lifetimes, like I said, but you know, it's kind of going back to like, okay, people didn't really, like people never saw space. before. No one knew what was out there until, what was it, 1940 something, 1950 something, you know? Or rather, no one knew what was out there. I think the first one was Sputnik launched. Wasn't it 1945? Was it 1945? No, it was like 19. No way, 1929. I was that far off. No one, 1929. That's when the first ever satellite was launched into space. Like people we knew what was out there, but we didn't like, if that makes sense. And there were like, physicists and like, people who studied galaxies before anything was ever launched into space, which is crazy to me. Like people, they had already discovered, okay, Mars is here, Neptune is here, Jupiter is here, stuff like that, without ever going to space. So going back to that, like eventually we will figure out how the world came to be, how the world works, essentially. All right, gravity of law by Newton says mass times acceleration force is equal to big G, which is our gravitational constant. I think isn't that like 5.97 times 10 to the negative 11? I think times mass of Earth times the mass of another body divided by r plus h squared. Radius of the 8 plus the height above the Earth squared. If we assume Earth, then A is equal to gm, mass of the Earth, divided by r squared. Here we distract m from both sides, and m is the mass of the Earth. R plus h is distance from the center of the Earth to object on surface. Okay. H is equal to 0. Or an atmosphere, H is greater than 0. Now A is equal to G because it's acceleration. If we're on a surface, then by formula A0 is equal to G0 is equal to Gm. If we're on a surface, then by formula A0 is equal to G0, which is equal to gravitational constant times mass divided by r squared. On some H, A is equal to G is equal to G. Okay, that makes sense. If we divide G on G0, we get G divided by G0 is equal to R squared divided by R squared with H. Okay. And G0 R squared divided by R plus H squared. And if we take equation 2.3, which dP is equal to negative P GDH, we can translate it to G0. We have a formula for this. We have dP is equal to, where h is difference from h by coefficient of r squared. No, r squared. Okay. Paste this. Let me see. Oh, if I can get my chat open. Sure. Hold on. Let's see the madness. Alright, so everything's all F is equal to G and what do I Is equal to. Okay. Is equal to G H. And at sea level, G0 is equal to GM R square. Okay. That makes sense. So G0, G0. You mean the difference between absolute altitude and geometric altitude? Yeah. Okay. But like they were saying in the book, the difference is it's minimal, except you're above 300,000 feet, I believe. Like it's less than 10%, I believe he said up here. Where is it? And it becomes just about like 1%. Yeah. So only at altitudes above 213,000 feet does the difference actually exceed 1%. Where am I from originally? Um, 3 places. I was born in Ireland, never been back. Then I lived in Nigeria for uh let me see. All the way to 2014, 2013 or 14. And I've been in the US ever since. So I've been in the US for about 11 years, which is not a long time at all. I spent over half my life here though. Yeah. Yes, it's low because R and H is very low compared to R, where R is equal to 6,420 kilometers. So we're using metric system, where H is max, like max 300. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. So I guess when you're actually dealing with space and like going into orbit and stuff like that, it becomes more of a factor. You were talking about state. Oh, okay. Well, I lived in Georgia initially. And then I moved to Texas in 2021 to go to school at Sam. And then I lived in Houston area, Huntsville, um, since 2021. And then I just moved to Dallas 2 weeks ago. So yeah. I mean, am I liking it? Sure. All I do is just work, come home steady. I haven't been anywhere. It'd probably be better when I start going to school. So we'll see. Yeah. All right. We can obtain browse right here. Hold on. Where am I working at? That I be delivering your packages, man, for about 6 hours a day, knocking on your door. Delivery. Don't forget to leave a tip. Yeah. They need to start tipping us for real. Yeah, Amazon. It's terrible, bro. But I'm gonna quit in 2 months. ish when school starts because I'm not having a full-time job and going to school because I'm a full-time student. I need a part-time something on the weekend. It's not decent. Like it would be decent if the DSPs were decent. Yes, it's that bad. It is that bad. I guess the you get to work by yourself is pretty cool, but other than that, that's the only good part. Oh yeah. You study molecular physics. It's not hard for me to understand what you're concerned. I'm trying to understand that. Cool. Yeah. My knowledge of physics is just like regular, basic college level physics. That's as far as it goes for me. Obviously, I'm gonna be doing a lot more, like, well, not a lot more physics, but a lot more physics related topics, essentially, which I'm looking forward to. Overnight stocking, yeah. I've probably done every single, yeah, I've done every single, like, probably warehouse job, honestly. And then I worked in a prison for a little bit. Working and going to school is not it, man. I'll tell you that. Like, you either need to just lock in and go to school full time or just work full time. Doing both at the same time is dehydrating. It's pretty whack. All right, we're now in a position to abstain. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. It's not, or if you have someone you can like live with, who cover your living situation, so you can just work part time, so you don't have to, work so you can live essentially. So you're not too worried about like being homeless and like eating food, stuff like that. Like if you don't have to worry about stuff like that, then you're good. You can just work as much as you need, to have some extra money to spend. And obviously, if you got bills, stuff like that. Hey, here's my advice, man. Start studying now. If you got free time, just doesn't matter. 30 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, 2 hours a day, however long. Yeah, I wasn't in that situation when I was at Sam Houston. Like I was working so I can, you know, start with YouTube. If you're just, if you just have free time, open up YouTube, find a video that covers concepts of, being an AMP. Um, yeah, I remember I watch this guy all the time. He's an AMP. I mean, he doesn't do anything like crazy. I think it's this guy. He doesn't do anything like crazy, but he just works on like airlines. Like this guy, I used to watch him all the time, even though I didn't. He was pretty entertaining. I never wanted to be an AMP, or I guess I did for a little bit, but you know, just find something to watch, something you can learn from. That's the biggest thing. Instead of just scrolling on, like I used to do, scrolling on Twitter, TikTok, wasting your time, stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, he's pretty interesting. I have so many pilots I'm subscribed to, dude. Like, yeah, Yeah. You mean Pilot Debriefs by Hoover? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I watched Pilot Debrief, and then there's Blank Illyrio as well. I think that might be who you're thinking of. Maybe, maybe not. He does kind of, sort of like debriefs as well. This guy, he does them as well. I don't know. I think there's an error. I think there's an error in the equation because a necessary term is missing. Ask ChatGPT divide hydrostate equation by equation of state. Citing this. Divide hydrostatic equation. Divide hydrostatic equation by the ideal gas law. Hydrostatic equation is dv. Okay. Right, PG. Forgot your DH, buddy. Your small change in altitude. You neglected that for some reason. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess it didn't. No. This the second one is the equation of state. Yeah, that's your pressure is equal to your density, specific gas constant, and your temperature. Ask him why pressure here is equal to N over V. What do you mean? Why pressure? Pressure where? Where's pressure equal to N over V? I've only used the ideal gas law in like one sense before, so I don't really know too much about it. What do you what's V in that equation? What's why not PV? I know pressure is equal to density times specific gas constant times temperature. But what do you mean not VR PV? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. I'm an idiot. Okay. Yeah. Why V over V is equal to P? Yeah. I see what you're saying. Should be helpful if I could just copy. See, you're all the way in molecular physics, and I'm not even. So you're just like throwing. I'm like, okay, what's V? Volume, number of moles. Okay. I've never dealt with the ideal gas law in molecular form. I've only dealt with it in fluid, this form right here. So I was a little confused when you're talking about V. I'm like, what's V? Where does V come in this equation? Because I've never seen this. You know more. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, no. Specific. I believe he talked about this in this book, like all the way in the first chapter, or in the second chapter rather, somewhere. Yeah, the two R's are different. Hold on. Yeah. When we first talked about the ideal gas law, somewhere. Somewhere. If I can find it. Is that what you mean? Nurse and chemistry formula with the universal gas constant R. Where R is equal to 8314 joule per kilogram mole Kelvin. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is dealing with air. Specific gas constant. In this case, I guess. I'm actually curious because I don't even remember how it's derived. Okay, it's just the universal gas constant divided by what's M? M is 2.896. 1 kilogram mole of air has mass 28.96 kilograms. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You can obtain the pressure pH by integrating H. Yeah. You mean a derivation of the specific gas constant? I'm fine with that. I'm just reading on this. Oh, okay. The base is located at a given geopotential altitude h. Consider a given point in the isothermal layer above the base where the altitude is h. We can obtain the pressure P at h by integrating 3.7 between h1 and h2. Okay. T0. Performing the integration in 3.8. That just gives you 1. We obtain the natural log of P over P1. I'm confused. Thank you for the follow, bro. Natural log of P, pressure over pressure 1. Why are there two pressures? We can obtain the pressure P at H by integrating. Oh, it's between two. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Oh my god. Don't answer that. We are integrating. I'm like paying attention, but I'm not paying attention. Don't answer that. I'm like, why are there two P's? Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. We're not gonna talk about this. Integrates to 1. Alright, so central log P over P1 is equal to Alright. From the equation of state, P over P1 equal to density times temperature over density 1 times temperature 1. Which is equal to density over density 1. I'm confused. Hold on. P at H by integrating. That's fine. I'm fine with that. How much did I spend on my flight hours? On all my flight hours, I probably spent just the hours alone, the whole thing. I have it in my notes somewhere. I think it was about 15. No, it was probably about closer to $15,000. Yeah, I want to say just the hours though. Just they gotta buy headsets, for a flight, flying iPad. I mean, I guess you don't have to, but I wanted to. Then the instructor. For every hour, I finished with about 80 hours. Every hour was one. If I can remember, I think it was 140. No. It was like no. So without my instructor, I think it was like 140 per hour. And with the instructor, it comes to like 200 and maybe 210 per hour. Yeah, because the instructor was about $60 per hour. Oh, there's only one person on YouTube. The one person I've been talking to. Well, 2 people. Benisroff. He was paying $300 per hour. That is crazy. YouTube is banned in Russia? What? No. My videos are. It's just me flying planes. I don't have that many videos. If you want to see them, it's right here. Or you can just watch YouTube through me, man. We can watch YouTube on Twitch. Here we go. I don't post very often. I mean, it's just like it's me in a plane. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Oh, it's not banned. It's just slowed down. Okay. So you can only watch it with a VPN. Okay. I didn't know that either. The G0. Yeah. I wish I could show the chat on screen like together. I gotta figure out how to do that later. Probably tomorrow. I gotta go to Houston on Monday, so I probably won't stream on Monday. Oh yeah, you want to see my? I made a little library, y'all. Hold on. I think I'm done for now, honestly. Like my brain is no longer working. I've been reading the same line for like 30 minutes or 20 minutes. You're awake for 14 hours? What time is it in Russia? 8:08 in the morning or in the night or in the evening? Night, evening. 8 a.m. or p.m. Morning. Oh yeah. What are you doing, man? You should be asleep. We don't have, oh yeah, I forgot. You guys just go 1400, 1600. I mean, that's how it is when you're flying planes as well. No one says like it's 6 p.m. They're just like it's, 1800. Yeah. 14 hours is crazy. That's fine for a Russian though. Yeah. Time out. I don't understand nothing about coding. I only use latex sometimes. You think they only sleep 2 hours? Hey, Ovidi said you guys only sleep 2 hours in Russia, man. He said you guys drink a lot of vodka too. I didn't say it. He said it. He's on YouTube talking trash about you. I'm just kidding. 2 hours? 2 hours too much? Yeah, he says that's too much, man. That's too much sleep. You don't need it. Here you go. Let me pop out both of my chats. There's one. So you can see it for yourself, man. He's talking crazy. There you go. But Chinese people don't even sleep. I'm just the messenger here, bro. I'm just the messenger. Nah, that's crazy. I mean, hey, that's how they always, in China, they're always building stuff and just innovating over there because they don't sleep, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I saw a 13-year-old kid on YouTube the other day making, I think it was Chinese. He was like programming a whole, I'm like, at 13, I don't know what I was doing at 13, but I definitely wasn't programming. Let's open up C++. Yeah, I've never been to Asia. That's definitely a. At 13, you were playing Minecraft. Yeah, at 13, man, I was on this game called America's Army. That's all I did. Hey, what if I create a browser? Right, and a URL. Who's that guy? Oh, it's gonna make me log in. Boo. Trash. Yeah. That yeah, that's something they don't lack in I guess that side of I mean Russia is right above China, isn't it? Yeah. Right? I don't know my geography. Jesus. Hold on. It's called Eurasia, right? Like Russia's technically in Europe, but it's right above. It's a good, yeah, there. Yeah. They definitely have rich history for sure. A lot of different Great Wall of China. I mean, not like the I forget what it's called. What's the square in Moscow with the like the capital with the like colorful red buildings? What's it called? Is it just no? It's like that when you look up Moscow, it's like the first picture that comes up. Always this right here. Like what is that called? The red square. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's crazy. It doesn't look real in a good way. Yeah, I'd definitely love to visit someday. How cold is it right there right now? Yeah. Vietnam? Ooh. 31 Celsius. Sorry, not Fahrenheit. Hold on, let me convert that real quick. Actually, I don't even remember on how to convert Celsius to Kelvin. I think you multiply it by 5/9 and then divide and then subtract 32, maybe. There's 87 in Russia? What? I thought it was always cold over there. I thought it never got above like, 60 degrees. I thought like 60 was peak winter for you guys. I mean, peak summer for you guys. I thought the snow never melts. You said you want to go to Vietnam, which is doable. Yeah, I know. Do you have like so Vietnam? Yeah, no, I thought like yeah, no, like so hold on. Where is like Siberia? What is that in case you can't tell already, like America doesn't do a very good job of like teaching geography. I mean, I'm not gonna say they don't. They do, but it's not like you forget half of that stuff after you leave high school because you never use it. Well, Siberia isn't it in Russia? No. Like this is all Russia, and that what's Siberia? What's the difference between? See, American education is terrible, man. Like it is. Because every time I'm like, if I'm just like hearing the news in like the background or something, I'd always hear like, you know, I'd always hear something about Siberia. Now I have to learn Russian. I don't have to learn Russian to understand that. Okay? Watch this. That's a beautiful thing about the internet. Copied it from oh, you copied it from Wikipedia. I thought you were gonna type it all out. Never mind. Siberia is the vast region of most northern Asia. It's gonna be diverse and it's tundra and it's forest. Traveling in south areas, like would I live in an igloo? Depends, honestly. It'd be fun for like a day, yes, and then you'd be freezing your ass off. So yeah, no. Anyway, this is my little library. It's pointless. It does nothing, but like simulates you owning a library essentially. Uh, you know, you can add a book, remove a book, add a user, whoop de whoop, stuff like that. And it just reads from files for anyone who cared. There you go. That's a little project I've been working on. uh, rather, let's kill this real quick. 1001, and then let's do 1084. If you want to understand, in Russia, the most lowest temperature was -90. What? -90 degrees Fahrenheit? I don't. That's wild. The lowest we've ever gotten, like I've ever seen in my entire life, was probably close to like, I want to say like, I don't think I've ever seen 10 degrees. 10 degrees Fahrenheit. I think at the least the lowest I've ever seen is probably like 15 degrees. But I live in the South. We've probably gotten no. The lowest I've probably seen was probably a little lower than 10. Average annual temperature of -8 Celsius. Winter high temperatures consistently well. That is crazy. I don't think I'd be able to live there. I guess you guys get used to it though. I mean, the lowest I go here. Last winter, like the lowest was probably the winter didn't even last very long, honestly. What do you mean you too? Don't you live there? Where do you stay? Where in Russia are you? Or you're not in Russia, are you? Where you are in Russia? Where in Russia are you? Like what region? I guess. -4 Fahrenheit. Yeah. Mm-mm. That's crazy. You live in a region with normal temperature, yeah. Lucky. Shit. Alright, this project is essentially done, honestly. I need to start another one. Kinda, sorta. So let's push the final version to get. Oh, I'm just finishing this little like library project I made. It's not anything crazy. It's just it simulates a real life library in code, essentially. So it's like the software behind like an online library, if that makes sense. And it just saves like whatever you put to a file, if that makes sense. So it just so you know how a real life library works, right? Like you can go to a library, you can check out a book, you can, return a book, you can add a book to the database of books. That's all this does, just in code. So like if I run it, I pretty much so I coded all this. I've been working on it. I think the first time what was my first commit? It was probably I started in May 15th of this year. And what is it, June 8th? So yeah, I started May 15th. Uh and I've kind of been implementing as we go. So I can add a book, for example, and it's writing to a file. Let me show you the file, kind of side by side, I guess. So it's writing to this file right here, right? So if I come in here and I say, okay, let me add a book, I can create a book ID. So if I create an ID, like, let's make the ID 88292 and enter a book name. I don't know, Harry Potter, right? And author J.K. Rowling. Okay, well, if I close this book, now as you can see, disappeared, and it's writing to it. It's just something like, it's just, I don't have to. I was just kind of doing it, just kind of to practice my C++, stuff like that. Just so I don't forget how to code in C++, essentially. Well, this is like entry level stuff, yeah. It's not anything crazy, if that makes sense. Like I just went on Chat GPT and I was like, okay, give me a project to make. I believe. Hey man, you were talking about molecular physics and stuff. I'm like, I didn't even know there was two forms of the ideal gas equation. Now I do. There's one for, I guess, regular flow, and then molecular. Yeah, I didn't know that. I learned that today because of you. So appreciate you. Apparently in aerodynamics though, we never uh, like come across the molecular form. I guess maybe I don't know. Using your high school, they're teaching you guys about that is crazy. I don't remember seeing it. Man, my physics high school class was probably just okay. Force is equal to mass times acceleration. You know, you got work, stuff like that. It was like bare bones, like physics. It wasn't anything crazy. Oh yeah, okay. But that's where it stopped. Like we never got. I had never seen the ideal gas law until I like went out of my way to study it and to like learn. Yeah, like I had never seen, or maybe I just didn't pay attention. I don't know in high school because I don't ever even recall seeing like how acceleration due to gravity was found. Like I never saw the derivation of that in high school till I was in college. So create a console or GUI based program that simulates orbital transfers, orbital parameters. It can be derived from Maxwell's distribution. Yeah. I still have a long way. I have a long way to go. I still have a long way to go, physics wise, for like the next probably 3 years, honestly. It's gonna be very physics heavy, especially since I'm going to UTA for aerospace engineering. There's gonna be a lot of physics. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Homage transfers. What's that? It's probably bedtime here in a little bit, man. Ben and Saraf, you gotta go to bed, man. You've been up for 14 hours. If you're staying, you gotta go to sleep. It's probably my time soon. It's 12:31. I can't. I can't stay up till 8 a.m. like you.
Around the Earth to another higher orbit to make a rendezvous with something like the space station. Welcome to this Lab Rat Digital Lab. Today we want to talk about how to transfer from one orbit around the Earth.
After some understanding of physics, philosophy, and math, I'm on my way to seeing science from instrumental His original point of view. There's no such thing as gravity or curved spacetime. It's just instruments to predict our experience. Yeah. Says uncertain physics can simply be thrown out, and the rules can be memorized and deduced purely deductively. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. That's one way to look at it. I don't know. Still fascinates me how all the, minds before us sort of. But you definitely sound like you're very smart, man. I will give you that. You definitely sound like you do some, yeah. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but in this regard, I mean, the difference in career and theoretical physics is that one has to do fewer algorithmic actions. Yeah. Mm-mm. This is what my degree plan sort of looks like. I guess physics heavy for the most part. All these. A little nihilism in the chat. You should have seen my YouTube chat earlier. There was a lot with me and Ovidi. I don't know if Ovidi's still here. Yeah. There's like metaphysical realists or naturalists who think that science open the structure of reality or something. It's already happening, I guess. We're just living in it. Sort of. Uh, there's a metaphysical realist natural things. Yeah. You're good, man. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I sometimes just sit in my room or wherever I am and I just like start questioning shit too. Not questioning, but like being super. I guess that's the whole point behind philosophy and science, I guess. Yeah. You're good. I'm the same exact way. Sometimes. I try to be, you know, a little more reserved when I come on here with it.
To another higher orbit to make a rendezvous with something like the space station. To do this, we'll use the Hohmann minimum energy transfer orbit. What do I mean by a transfer trajectory?
I'm gonna work on this tomorrow after I learn what the home and transfer window is, because I have no idea. And I can start working on this tomorrow. Probably gone Monday and Tuesday. So that would be a pretty cool project. Map vector, standard library. I'm not using GUI. Matplotlib. Oh yeah, we can use MATLAB as well to plot it. That'd be pretty cool. Input, initial orbit radius, 7,000 kilometers, target orbit radius, 12,000 kilometers. That's pretty cool. Alright, well. I think I'm gonna call it, man. I think I am going to go to bed. Ovidy's already gone, so it's been real. I will see y'all tomorrow, Mr. Benisaraf, Mr. Ovidy. I hope y'all have a great, huh? What do you mean, BB? What do you mean? Before I end it. Oh yeah, I am going to bed. I need some sleep. It's 12 a.m. It's almost 1. I can't be like you. Oh, BB's bye-bye? No one says that over here. Is that like a Russian thing? Everyone just types like, see ya. You know? I've never heard anyone say BB. Yeah, everyone's like, see ya, or honestly, yeah. I don't think we have a short, like, slang for goodbye. Yeah. Alright, yeah, I'm going to bed. I will see y'all when I see y'all. Probably tomorrow. So, take it easy. Alright.